Most people try to put the icing on top of the cake before the cake has been baked. In other words, people are more focused on bicep curls than they are focused on squats. And the truth is that as a natural lifter, you have to focus on building the substance, baking the cake, so to speak, before you add the icing, before you focus on the detail. So the truth is that go into any public gym, walk down the street, you will never see a natural lifter with a small torso, frail legs, a frail body in general, with a big pair of biceps. It doesn't matter how much isolation work you are throwing at the smaller areas of your body. If the big areas are not developed, if the big muscular structures of your body are not developed, the smaller areas are not going to be developed either. The smaller areas of your body, no matter how much isolation work you do, are going to grow proportionately to how much the bigger areas develop. That's just the fact of the matter. When you're a drug-free lifter, there's very little use in putting so much energy into the isolation exercises, focusing on all the bicep curls, 5 exercises per muscle group, all this bullshit. Truth is that as a natural lifter, your recovery ability is limited, okay? The recovery ability is limited. The more exercises you do per muscle group, the more isolation exercises you throw at your body, the less energy and the less focus you're putting into that which actually delivers results, which is your strength gains in a medium rep range on the big major compound lifts. It is truly that simple. So put it this way, guys, add 50% to what you're currently curling. You think that's gonna make that big a difference to your physique? No, but add 50% for reps across all your big major compound lifts and see how much of a difference that's going to make in your physique. You're going to put on muscle everywhere, and the smaller areas, including your biceps, including your neck, including the aesthetic areas, those are gonna come up proportionately to how you're gaining strength, how you're developing on the big major compound lifts. You have to treat your body as a whole. You have to treat your body as one whole unit. Especially in the bodybuilding push now in the fitness industry, even in the natural fitness scene, people are swaying more towards the bodybuilding mindset, doing tons of volume, doing tons of exercises per muscle group. Truth is that they're treating their body like Legos. And all it's doing is diluting their effort from what actually matters. If you were to simply almost exclusively focus on getting strong at a handful of big compound lifts that covered the majority of your musculature, you wouldn't have very many weak points. And if you were to have some weak points, okay, cool, throw some isolation work at them. Totally fine. I'm not against isolation work, but you have to understand, isolation work is the passenger relative to the main driver of growth when you're a drug-free lifter, which is your strength gains on the big compound lifts. If a guy is fucking benching 300 pounds, squatting 400 pounds, deadlifting 500 pounds, he's gonna have a relatively big pair of arms. He's gonna have a bigger neck. You're not going to go into a gym, see a guy who's strong, jacked, built all around, but has a pencil neck, has pencil arms. You won't see it because the body grows as a whole. And the way to do that is to put yourself under a large dose of straining under big compound lifts and getting strong at them in a medium rep range. That's how you're going to build the physique you're after. You're not going to build the physique you're after focusing on all these isolation exercises, tons of bicep curls, tons of tricep extensions. Sure, throw those in. Throw a couple sets of isolation exercises. Throw that in at the end once the real work has been done. Throw that in at the end for the weak points, for maybe the muscle groups that don't get quite as much work from the big compounds, but they are not the main driver of growth. They're not going to make you jacked. It's not going to happen. The truth is that as a beginner lifter especially, building up to a stronger squat in a medium rep range is going to build a bigger pair of arms quicker than focusing on a bunch of bicep curls. That's just how it works because your body likes to grow as a whole, and focusing on these isolation exercises is just taking away from the energy you could put into getting strong at the lifts that are actually going to deliver and grow your body as a whole. If there was the sort of interest in squats, deadlifts, bench presses, overhead presses, rows, dips, as there was in bicep curls, there would be no shortage of results in the fitness industry. I fucking promise you. If people focused almost exclusively on a big handful of compound lifts with the addition of a few isolation exercises for some weak points, there would be no fucking shortage of results. But people are swaying away from the basics. They're swaying away from the things that work because they want to be contrarian. They want to go against the grain. And don't get me wrong, guys. I'm all for going against the grain. That's pretty much what my entire fucking brand is about. But since I care about your fucking results, I tell you to do the basics because isolation exercises will not make you jacked. They're not gonna make you jacked, okay? You need to focus almost exclusively on a handful of major compound lifts, get strong at them. Compound lifts that work well for you and that cover the majority of your physique, some squats, some bench presses, deadlifts, overhead presses, rows, dips, or close variations. Focus almost exclusively on those. Don't dilute your focus and you will be big all around. You won't be complaining about a small neck, small biceps, because your body is growing as a whole. You're getting big all around. And don't get me wrong, you're also going to have to accept the fact that you're going to have to get big all around and put on weight. You know, if you want to add 2 inches to your arms, expect to have to gain 30 pounds throughout your entire body, 100%. As I said, you're never going to go into a gym, see a guy who's natural, shredded, and has big biceps, but tiny legs, tiny chest. It's not going to happen. You have to get big all around. You have to put on weight throughout your entire body, prioritize bulking, baking the cake, building the substance, and then you can focus more on detail. And you know, once you've built the cake, once you've built the substance and you've achieved a significant strength base on the big major compound lifts, by all means, do some specialization work. By all means, I'm a big advocate of that. Once you've hit a significant level of strength across the big major compound lifts, maybe your shoulders are a weak point on your physique. Okay, we'll do a specialization phase for the shoulders and bring them up. But the point is that too many people are worried about the smaller exercises, the details, before they have actually built any substance on their physique. A lot of people will follow my program and text me saying, hey, I think my upper chest is lagging behind. Should I do incline bench? Should I do some chest flies? My biceps are lagging behind. Should I do some more bicep work? And I'm like, bro, everything's lagging behind. You're not big yet. You're not big yet. You haven't built the cake. You haven't built the substance. Focus on the detail later. This is one of the biggest killers of progress, is the excessive focus on isolation work before any real strength and muscle has actually been built. Once again, I'll say it again, you're never gonna get jacked focusing on isolation exercises. If anything, focusing on them too much is taking away your focus from what's actually gonna make you jacked, which is your strength gains, the energy you're putting into the big compound lifts. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to drop a like, subscribe, and by all means, add in some isolation work, but make sure you're doing it at the end of your workout. Not overdoing it, just throwing it in for the muscle groups that need a little bit of extra work. But if it's taking away from the energy and the strength gains you're making on your big compound lifts, then it is not helping you. It's actually detrimental in your program. It's going to stop you from making really, really good progress. So if you guys enjoyed this video, drop a like, subscribe, pick up my free 13-point natural muscle building checklist if you haven't already. I'll send it to you for free. Super fucking valuable. Treat it as a self-assessment. 13-point self-assessment that's going to ensure that you're hitting on all the fundamental principles of building your physique. And we'll talk soon.